actually.
Okay, so you get the...
I'll put it on the left screen so we can see the chat and answer the questions. And I like to also...
Do you actually watch your own stream?
I could watch the stream if I see any lagging or jerking around or something like that. I have to reload this. And then mute the audio, it's muted. Sometimes it goes... Okay, now we're all now. And these are the followers, and this is the game. So now we can go back to the game. And then actually, I put this a little bit... We can see the viewers. They come somewhere in here. How many viewers we have. Break. Right, I think we're here.
Wow.
Let's wait people to join in. I'll put a Snapchat also. But they should know better. Actually, I'll put you in there too. Oh. Okay, stream online.
Do you have the new... What iPhone is that one?
The 8 Plus.
Okay, cool. You
Is
updated
that
it already.
the 7 Plus?
Yes, sir.
Don't buy the X.
Maybe.
All right, now we're online. Hello, the first one there. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello. And if you will, guys, let's talk English because James knows Finnish.
Joo, totta.
Yeah, but even though he's lived here like 10 years, he still knows only the curse words.
7 voittaa.
What did you say?
7 years.
7 years. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Mutsi. And that meant that stupid voice. That meant that he resubscribed for 3 months.
Okay, wow, awesome.
And do you see that my face there?
Yeah.
So these are the sources you can put as an alert. They can be anything you want.
Okay, so
there's a
I get
voice
it.
and image and something like that.
Awesome.
Yeah, and now when people are tuning in, then well, we can start anywhere. So again, well, let's wait a little bit when people.
Let's speak some English, indeed.
Let's speak some English, yes. Engliska.
So I'm gonna start making my way across so I can get the.
And we'll make an introduction in a moment when people are tuning in.
Yeah, sure.
So we don't have to do it then like 10 times. So you can do your pre-jumps. So is it okay, the overlays there? James, the overlays are okay?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So don't move the windows if you know.
Yeah, I got it.
There's so much happening in the GUI that I don't even remember.
Really?
But we can go these through in a moment.
And they've changed a little bit as well. Now we have grouping and so on.
James, you're so tall that
I can't even see my head.
This is set up with a midget, and you're over it. He's like 2 meters 10 centimeters, 2 meters 20.
Oh, do you have a MooBot? You have your own bot?
Yeah. The MooBot gives you can automate some like if you want to advertise casino or something like that. Does James even lift though? Do you lift, bro? Do you lift? You mirroring, bro?
Mirroring, bro.
Well, that's a big dude. That's a big fucking dude.
Let's fight already.
Yeah. How many jumps away is the ship?
Only 6, so not long at all. This won't take long. They've got, I don't know when the last time you played Eve, now they have warp to 0. So you don't have to, before you had to warp at, or if you were AFKing it would warp at 15.
Yeah.
Or it may even warp, you weren't able to warp to 0. They changed that dynamic now.
What does it mean warp to 0?
So you can just warp straight away, you can literally hit jump on the next exit gate.
Ah.
This is of course in high and low sec.
Yeah.
In null sec it's a bit different. You can get interdictor bubbles, which will stop you.
So let's see how many viewers we have.
So are these your subscribers, the ones with the logos next to you?
With the funny Battlefield 2, if you remember, these sort of they are the subscribers, and the people that don't have it, they're the viewers, followers, or just people tuning in.
I am a Brit. I've lived in Helsinki now for 7 years, so I'm kind of used to living in Finland, but I'm originally from England.
Put the voices a little bit down. Postipeku, thank you for the resub. 7 months. That's the longest time. 7 months.
Okay, only 5 jumps up.
Freeloaders, goddamn. I think you have been paying your taxes for the all the 7 years. Yeah.
That's a source.
So you worked at, if you want to talk about it, you worked in SS.
Yeah.
How was it? SSH?
Yeah. SSH. I worked there like No Profit Inc.
Yeah.
I worked there for what 6 years.
Yeah.
And now I'm working at a company called Nordcloud.
Yeah.
Which is
so
really
you
cool.
were. How would you describe your title or
my title? I'm like a team leader and cloud architect.
Yeah.
At the moment,
Yeah.
so basically designing cloud infrastructure.
Yeah.
For companies.
Is it difficult job?
It's stressful. It's fun though.
Yeah. Okay. Which mouse do you prefer, by the way? That one or this one?
Oh wow, this is like a transformer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both okay.
Yeah.
This one's a bit easier. It's a bit made for bigger hands, like
This one?
longer fingers maybe.
Yeah. I want to switch this one to that one, or a little bit smaller version of that. You can use both if you want. Ah, this was yours. This was yours.
All right, 4 jumps out. So for those of you that have already been watching, we're just making our way across some high-sec space because I have got a man-tanked ship that I want to get into, which will be more fun than the Swipple for hopefully trying to shoot some people in Eve while talking about the game with Yuka.
So, okay, if enough people are tuning in, this is my friend James, which I know through a friend from the gym, and James, we talked about, he's a nerd like me, and played all his life computer games, and one of the games that we have both played, me not so much, is EVE Online, which we are now playing. And this is a game which is infinitely big in content wise, or what you can do here, and the reason James is here is because I don't have the necessary information, knowledge to kind of play this game, but you have, because you have been playing this game like for a long time, and almost 4 years actively back in the day, and then that's about it. Showcasing a game which is quite hard to stream.
It is.
Yeah, not much happens here, but a lot of discussion around the game is quite interesting. If you talk a little bit about the early history of EVE. Yeah. So, is this over 10 years old, this game?
Yeah, I mean, it was, I think the original characters go back to, some of them are 2004, 2005. Yeah. So my account has been active since 2006, 11 years.
So almost at the beginning you started. Yeah. And this is from Iceland, if I remember correctly.
That is correct.
Is it still
It is
100% there? Yep. Yeah. CCP was the game studio.
And they still are,
Yeah. And this game is a little bit different compared to like World of Warcraft, because this only has one server and everyone logs into the one server. The almost 50,000 people, I think, was the max I've seen online. I don't know nowadays.
Now it's at peak times, it will break 30,000.
Yeah.
The game has kind of gone for a bit of a subscriber lull. The introduction of microtransactions, and also that the content hasn't astronomically changed. Modules have changed, the ships have changed, but the actual game itself is very much the same EVE, so it's hard to stay engaged for that amount of time. And when you have a real life, work and kids, job, everyone's getting older, right? Yeah. When I first started playing this, I was 20. Yeah. And then played it
like
actively.
45,
now
45.
I'm like 50.
Okay, so what's the short version? What this game is all about? The massively multiplayer online game. Okay, that's a given. 30,000 people are logged in on the server. But what's the whole idea of the game? So can you even explain it?
It's kind of hard in a way to summarize in that way. Yuka and I were talking about this as we arrived in his apartment today. That one of the things about EVE is that there are so many kind of different ways to play. So I've almost always focused on the PvP,
Yeah.
like being able to blow people up as quickly and as efficiently as possible, and trying to stop myself.
Looting their stuff.
And trying to, you know, and that's always been what made me kind of enjoy the game. Of course, there's this whole industry kind of backbone, this whole kind of economic backbone as a result of the industry, and arguably that if you want to become sort of space rich, that's a far more kind of
the industry way.
Yeah,
So
like
you build stuff and you sell in the in-game market.
Yeah,
that's the idea of the industry.
Yeah,
you make parts which people are willing to buy for a certain amount of money.
Exactly.
And then there's the PvP, and is there also PvE in this game? So player versus environment.
There is that. Here's the ship. There is that.
Wow. What race is this?
This is a Galante battle cruiser.
Galante, yeah.
Called a Brutix, and it's a fun. But to go back to
the whole idea of the game.
Yeah, so it's kind of like I said. There's so many different paths in it. I try to play it now to make it as easily pick up and playable as possible, so that I can log in, have fun, and log off without having too much kind of invested into the game, because it is a time sink. But of course, if you want to get really into it, you can kind of run alliances. You can kind of try to take over space, like literally own pockets of space in the EVE universe. So if we look at the map to get a sense of scale, this is us right here. Wow. We're in this system, right?
Yes.
And this is the EVE map, as it were.
Yeah.
Which is pretty out there. And if you
what the fuck, the Kalevala, is there some Finnish dudes?
So the whole idea is that one of the races, if you read the kind of backstory, that I think is the Kaudari, have a lot of kind of Finnish names, and I think that's where we're actually going to go. We're going to try to go to kind of the Black Rise region, which is around here.
So how many star systems are there? 100, over 1,000.
Honestly, I don't know anymore. But it's a big map.
So these areas are owned by big alliances.
Yeah.
And corporations are
part of those
alliances. And how many big alliances there are now?
There's so many. We could get up the EVE map, like the alliance map. But there are so many. There's the old school ones that have kind of survived the test of time, like Goon Swarm. And they actually have I think they have a corporation called Finfleet.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Finfleet.
Right now, I'm in an alliance called Test, and Test Alliance, please ignore. And they're kind of a good bunch. It's pretty easy going. There's there is just so many. There's the Northern Coalition, and these things are kind of funny because they break up and then will kind of reform as player groups. And that's perhaps one of the unique thing about EVE, that you're able to, or that players are able to. Or the community that the players have formed means that you just get reincarnations. The thing from a longevity, it's still reincarnation of the same thing, right? So it's still going to be about fighting to try to get space, holding that space, and then eventually surrendering that space so you to move on and start that kind of sequence over. But of course, the fights that you have in between is what kind of makes it fun. While that process
there are big alliance fights.
Yeah, of course.
And those they break. You said like the big stories are kind of news in every gaming forums.
When it goes crazy, when they kind of something so these days it's less about the fleet fights and it's more about the kind of social engineering and people behaving less than nice in the game, which is a kind of funny dynamic. Again, it's kind of almost unique to EVE, but also other massively multiplayer online role-playing games like World of Warcraft must have an element of it where people will steal from each other or try to socially engineer to steal. And EVE is the manifestation of that. I mean, it's everyone is trying to be mean to everyone.
Yes. What are the? Can you tell us a story of maybe in the older days or some recent events of social engineering where some people lost their stuff or something?
So we were back in the day we were kind of responsible for it ourselves. We had how many spaceships?
Perkele, thank you for the sub.
We had a similar or a very similar setup going on where we basically befriended someone who was in a much bigger alliance than our own, basically he became our if you like, guy on the inside.
Yes.
And basically the idea was that he would take most of the kind of profitable loot, and we were just doing it for, like, you know, fun.
Yeah.
And it was kind of, and this is going back, and it was still funny to do at the time, but essentially he gave up his alliance completely, offlined all of their kind of what at the time were called player-owned station towers. And we took all the loots. It was cool.
So a lot of the, as you said, a lot of the big stuff that's happening here are some people crossing others over, and maybe stealing stuff from their own alliance, or making you know, jumps to other alliances, and a lot of things happen in real life. If you would say that not necessarily actually in real life, but you chat to people and try to kind of get people to give up information,
exactly,
and
so
then
like
use it against. So I think that is the most important part of this game compared to World of Warcraft or something like that, where I think it's quite impossible to
be that kind of guy.
Yeah. But how has CCP, the company that made the game, responded to these sort of
I think
quite bad things?
I think they kind of so for anything that involves social engineering, they kind of try to embrace it until it becomes, you know, if you take the silly step to make an in-game death threat, then of course they intervene. Okay. But anything else, it's like, you know, it's just Eve is not a space is not an easy place.
Pommiuki, James only speaks English, so
and Exi.
Sorry, we can't speak Finnish, or it wouldn't sound this good.
Exactly. I'd dry up very quickly once I got past like moi mitä kuuluu.
Yeah, but the game has been going over 10 years and still going strong. Is the game showing any signs of going down in popularity, or
a little
are still
bit
new players coming?
Yeah, there are still. So what to try to increase the growth, they added a class called Alpha Clone. So if you're a paid subscriber on Eve, you're an Omega clone, which gives you access to everything. Yeah. Whereas an Alpha clone has access to a different set of resources, so a smaller subset, but it still is kind of fun for them to play, that you can still engage in the game. So the entry bar has kind of lifted from when I used to play.
Yeah.
Where it was, you know, if you didn't subscribe, you couldn't play, and that was it.
Yeah, okay.
So even you could try.
Yeah, I get emails sometimes when they get the free subscribe for 2 weeks or 4 weeks, and I just tried what my character looks like and what ships I have, but I don't remember anything about the
actual
how do they get, and I never PvP'd. I only because I was so in the early stages, I only played against the environment.
Just sorting my drones.
So tell us about a little bit this tank of yours. This is a tanker, which means it can take a lot of hit points.
Well, I mean, this is like an unconventional kind of setup for an EVE Online battle cruiser. Commonly, so EVE Online, the ships, they'll have a shield tank or an armor tank, and that is the kind of de facto standard. And most of the ships, depending on the type and the race of their origin, of which there's 4 races, the Galante, Minmatar, Caldari, and Amar, you can have a ship that may specialize in shield tanking or armor tanking. Yeah. This guy, however, was designed to be an armor tanker, but I've just put a whole tank on it.
What does it mean?
So it means that the final bar, this thing here, all of my hit points are in structure, but it's just a funny way to play the game. Because commonly people will be like, okay, I got his shields down, okay, his armor's melting, and then they get to your structure and it just doesn't move. So you
have 30,000 points of structure damage. How much damage per second does a well-equipped ship make?
So this guy is around 700 DPS damage per second, which is high.
Yeah.
Most kind of course, it depends on the ship class.
Yeah.
The thing is that although I have 30,000, effectively, because of the way Eve is like an Excel spreadsheet at times.
Yeah.
So if we go to show info, I'll drag this across, and attributes, you'll see that I have certain resistances. So I have a resistance here. What this is for shield, armor, and shield, armor, and this is my hull resistances. Yeah. What this means is although it says 30,000. with stacking and resistances, it means I have about 90,000 effective hit points.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's
how do you build up the resistances? Is it through the mods?
No, it's through mods and skills.
Skills. So okay, then we can jump a little bit on the skill tree, because it's also unconventional compared to other games. Because I think the skills in this game actively rise up. You don't have to be logged in.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that correct too?
Yeah, exactly. So I can show you mine because it's easy for me. So this is kind of Zer's at, or my character is at what, 97 million now.
Yeah. Is that a lot?
That's still a lot by kind of most people's standard.
Yeah.
And of course, that this skill queue that I have going on will just continue going until the subscription ends.
Yeah.
So until I stop paying for the game. So it's kind of a cool way to.
What are you now researching or
now
learning?
I'm just finishing off some medium turrets for the Amar race. I've done all the other races to pretty much max, so I thought that I'd focus on Amar.
So can you ever achieve highest level on all skills in this game?
Yeah. Well, okay. So again, this kind of goes full circle back to what we were talking about the kind of subscriber and where the game is at the moment. So with adding the alpha class, oh, this is a busy system.
Celia, thanks for the resub.
By adding the alpha class, they have also how can they re-energize kind of older players coming back. So they did introduce this kind of microtransaction,
so you can
skill
buy
injectors.
Oh, okay.
So now there are a few guys out there that have got the maximum, which is about 500 million skill points. So
really?
Everything is at 5.
So how much does that cost?
Oh, that's like a serious amount of money.
Really?
Yeah.
Like thousands of euros?
Yeah, like definitely.
Wow.
That's a serious investment of time.
What do you think about that?
I think it's kind of a bit silly.
Yeah.
So
how many months does it take to get the 100 million skill points?
100 million. I mean, I was subscribed actively for what, four years between 2006 and 2010. About that time.
But how can you ever win if you have 4 years apart from a new player? If you don't count the microtransactions.
Well, so right now, for example, I'm kind of like 100 million skill points. So if you were to just look at my skill points, I should be kind of vastly superior to like a newer player.
Yes.
But if they actually know the game mechanics better, then they can still beat me.
Okay.
So it's not all about kind of this ability to just the skill points. Of course, it helps astronomically. Okay. I'll do so much more damage than they will.
Yeah. That's a good question in the bottom. This game's pretty hard. How long does it take to learn this game?
Yeah, for sure. So Eve does have kind of, if you look online, you look at like Eve memes, they have this kind of graph where it's kind of like all the other games, and then Eve has this kind of learning curve, and it's like whoop. Yeah. And that is true. It does takes a special kind of dedication to kind of get into Eve, and it, as I said, sometimes it is like playing an Excel spreadsheet. It's not always fun. And you do get times like this. So at the moment, I'm traveling around in low security space.
Which means everyone can attack you and they don't get any...
They'll get shot by if they attack me on a gate, they'll get shot by the sentry guns.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's a free-for-all.
Yeah,
we can just shoot each other. That's fine. I'm going to warp to an asteroid about at 100 just to check the exit gate. But Eve is an interesting. I mean, it's an interesting game, and the content of this compared to any other game is it can be pretty hit and miss, because it's all to do with the other players' participation. So if I jump into the system and they kind of look at my profile and decide that I'm probably too much of a threat, they can just kind of dock, and I won't get a fight out of it.
Okay.
Let's see what we've got.
What can they see in the public profile?
I can show you.
Your skills, for example.
No, they can see. They can see my dinosaur. No.
Wanted. What does mean? What does?
So we were killing people recently, and they put a bounty on us.
Okay. 100,000. That's not a lot.
No, that's not a lot. No. That was like an angry farmer who didn't like getting blown up. But they can also see my employment history, which is the main kind of thing, which does show the length of my character, 2006. Yeah. So they'll probably assume that I played the game for a while and that I could probably blow them up.
Okay. So people are asking, how do I know you and who are you? And so this is James, my friend. and he's a player of EVE Online, so that's about it.
Yeah. When was the first time that we met?
It was.
It was in Mayors. It was in the gym.
It was with your with your
With
girlfriend.
Maya, yeah.
And or wife, should I say?
Yeah, wife. No.
God bless you. no. So I don't remember how many years ago.
It was a while. I mean, it was. I think
over 5 years.
Yeah,
over 5
definitely.
Years.
I mean, I still lived in Kallio at that point, I think.
So actually, when did you start dating Maya? How many years ago?
It was 5 years ago.
So it's 5
and a half.
years. So
yeah,
we met pretty much at that point. And when Maya first told me about you, and I said, "Don't leave this guy. He has tattoos and he's a criminal." and then when I met you first time, he's a nerd.
Exactly.
Oh, he's okay. I said to Maya, he's okay.
The first time I met Yuka, I was like, hey, let me show you how to squat.
Squat. Yeah, but you'll be working out also through your life.
Yeah, not so much at the moment.
Yeah.
I tore my rotary cuff doing CrossFit.
Oh, no, why CrossFit?
I enjoyed it. You know, it's a easy way to like unwind. So
easy way to break your rotary cuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Gotcha.
apparently so. So now it's and now just training at Elixir. Like it's simple and easy.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, there's a jackdaw here.
Is there any questions? No. Talking about processors. Yeah. Nothing.
This one guy, this game mindfucks me so hard.
Yeah, this is a mindfuck game. You should, play this. Actually, when I played this many years ago, and I played also with the British guys, they were all high every time they played.
Wow.
Every time. And there's a lot of people there. The Finnish dudes, who I knew through the corporation, they were quite old guys, like over 30, maybe 40 years old.
Okay, wow.
At that point, also, one guy was keeping a bar, and he was playing when between customers. And he was
crazy.
like, "I'm sorry, I have to leave the fight. I have to go."
Someone's that is crazy.
Ordering your beer.
That is crazy.
And he actually lost the ship
really?
Because he went offline, or just leave the computer. Hello. Easy way to lose games.
Yukitone.
Yeah, it's a emoticon, which doesn't show if you're not a subscriber. This sort of small, like me there.
Yeah.
Someone post all the emoticons I have. We can show to James.
I'm desperately looking for someone to.
Can you go rat with this ship?
Yeah, of course, but that would be a waste. We can do that if nothing comes. Okay, Tristan, that's not going to give us a fight.
So how many minutes or hours can it take to find a good fight?
Sometimes it can take you can literally walk around Eve the whole evening and not find anything to engage.
Okay.
And that sucks. I mean, that is not a fun
There's
thing.
the emoticons.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And you gain those emoticons depending how many subscribers you have. The first 5, then the first 20 perhaps, first 50,
okay,
first 75. Yes, hello Amisanka, how are you doing? Amisanka, the one with the check mark, is also a streamer. He plays a lot of different games.
Okay, nice.
Amisanka, have you played EVE Online? He plays like almost every game there is.
Okay, nice.
And I only play PUBG.
So there's a novice and a Galante outpost.
The point of this game, it's a massively is it multiplayer online or online multiplayer game, which is there's PvP, PvE. You can build stuff, industry. What else?
Let's see if it's Merlin.
So it's like can you compare it to anything else? World of Warcraft in space? No.
No, it's kind of it has like a niche, right?
Yeah,
it has it's got an interesting niche. There isn't many games like it.
It did play for 3 years.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay. How many skill points? Did you Amisanka, were you a PvP player or something else?
But can you play Skyrim? Where are these these guys.
Does James gamble as much as you do? No, I don't think he gambles. Open world asshole simulator. Yeah.
EVE Online, that is true. That is true.
Yes. So Amisanka definitely isn't a PvP player. He's a farmer.
He said PvP, of course.
Okay. Sorry. I trust you, farmer. Ratting your days away.
Exactly. Mining in high sand.
Yeah. So there is mining, and it's part of industry.
Yeah, so definitely. That is not what the cool bros do.
No. So, so you have to build the skill points to make certain parts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So where do you how do you get the schematics, or how do you say?
So the blueprints can
be
they're either seeded on the market by CCP, or they drop, like the rare ones will drop at
from ratting.
Yeah, from like sites and also from exploration.
Yeah.
But this is stuff that I really don't like to kind of do, because it's super boring and you don't get to blow anything up.
In the old days, you could trade your in-game money for actual money.
Yeah, not sort of like legally, you know, and that was against the end user license agreement. So if you were caught doing it, of course they'd like ban you and stuff.
Okay. But I remember some graphs, like 100 million ISK. Do you remember? Corresponded to
like a serious amount
or something like that. $1,000 maybe.
Now the market inflation, I mean, that's the other crazy thing about EVE, that the market and everything, it's, while of course the game developers, CCP, are able to seed different items into the game. So what this means is if they seed or if they make certain minerals and certain kind of resources, if they seed it a lot, they kind of devalue it, which will then, you know, makes it much easier to manufacture. At the same time, if they kind of, so it's supply and demand, right? And they're able to then kind of manipulate the market. But it's normally the player base. So CCP may, for example, they've just introduced this idea of moon mining, but it's very hard and very long, kind of winded process. So, but the ships that rely on those minerals are like going to skyrocket in price as a result of it. So it's kind of crazy in that way, that there's kind of this real sort of element to it.
But the real money makers are the guys in industry.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So if you have like, how much did you have? 1 billion.
I've got like 4 billion on Zera at the moment.
So how much does the top guys have?
Well, I mean, they probably have like, you know, I don't know, whatever they want, I guess. You know, hundreds of billions, trillions, maybe.
Really? Okay.
Or it will be hundreds of billions split out over multiple accounts.
Okay.
So then it would, you know, the total. But, you know, this is still a game and it's still like internet spaceships. So the idea of like hoarding resources, to me, I'm like, dude, it's like an online game. Like, just spend it and blow stuff up.
Yeah. So, okay, in the old days, you had these sort of ships, not necessarily all the types, but then they introduced the Titans.
Yeah,
the huge capital ship, like the capital of capital ships.
Yeah.
And I remember I also played at that point, and there was only one of them in the game. Mm-hmm. Is it correct?
At the time, yeah. At the time, there was like so few of these capital class kind of Titans.
Yeah.
This is a bit more busy. That looks better.
Google people there. Google EVE Online Titan or some comparison to other ships or something like that. You can understand the size difference in the in-game. In the ship James is flying compared to the Titan.
Yeah, so this little like, baby one compared to those guys.
But they have the same amount of modules or spots. Isn't that kind of stupid?
It's kind of because they're used in such different ways. So this thing has no bearing on what those things can do, and they've changed them as well. So at the time when Titans first seeded into the game, they had Doomsdays, which would effectively wipe out or had the ability to wipe out all of the ships on grid. Yeah. Now they actually have kind of much more modules like I have, where they can target a ship and shoot this like super weapon at them. Yeah. Let's see if there's anything. God, it's quiet tonight. And we're in this region called Black Rise, which is where the most of the Milita kind of, there's this whole kind of role-playing aspect of EVE, if you buy into that stuff, and kind of Federation warfare. And this is like their region. This is where they should be most active, which is why it's normally a good place to find some fights. So let's see if we can...
Are there any kind of single-player missions in this game?
Yeah, there are. But they get so boring so quick, you know. to me. But there is this whole PvE thing.
Yeah.
There's just that there's not too much continuity in the story. So there's not. It's not like World of Warcraft where you're kind of completing these quests or whatever they're called in order to fulfill part of the story and kind of progress. In Eve, it's more of a time thing. It's more of a there's not the kind of story associated with it, which is a shame in a way because imagine if they did, it would probably have a bit more of an end game in sight.
Yeah. I can explain in Finnish a little bit that. So, tämä peli on siis EVE Online, ollut yli 10 vuotta olemassa tämmöinen massiivinen multiplayer online-peli, jossa siis lennetään avaruudessa, sulla on hahmo, minkä sä kehität sen skill pointteja, teet rahaa, ostat aluksiin aseita, erilaisia moduuleita, rakennat semmosia kokoonpanoja, millä sä ehkä voitat jonkun toisen, jolla on vähän huonompi alus tai heikkouksia hyödynnät, että niin kuin hyvin tyypillinen tämmöinen massiivinen statistiikka-tilastopeli, missä pikkuhiljaa rakennetaan, mutta erona siihen tämmöisen perinteisen multiplayer-peliin on siinä se, että nämä skill pointit kasvaa niin koko ajan, kun sä oot niin kuin, vaikka sä loggaat ulos, niin se hahmo kehittää koko ajan skill pointteja lisää. Ja just esimerkiksi tässä Jamesilla on 100 miljoonaa skill pointsia ja se on vaatinut semmoisen 4 vuotta, niin kuin, että se on ollut ostanut tätä peliä. Ja nyt se on rakentanut tämmöisen mielenkiintoisen aluksen, joka tankkaa hemmetisti hitpointseja. Ja nyt me etitään tässä jotain taistelua toista pelaajaa vastaan. Tämmöinen serverillä on jotain 20-30 000 ihmistä samaan aikaan. Eli tämä on sillä tavalla vähän erilainen kuin monin peli. Että täällä on siis valtavasti ihmisiä tämmöisessä massiivisessa kartassa, mikä on siis toista tuhatta järjestelmää. Ja sitten täällä on tämän pelin sisällä on liittoumia, joihin kuuluu korporaatioita ja korporaatioihin kuuluu näitä pelaajia ja niiden välillä on taisteluita. Ne taistelee koko ajan avaruudesta, erilaisista avaruuden nurkista ja miljoona juttua, mitä siihen liittyy. Voin sanoa, että on aika vaativa peli päästä sisään, mutta sen muutaman kuukauden, kun mä tätä pelasin, niin mulla on vieläkin tästä pelistä semmoisia fiiliksiä ja hyviä muistoja, siis vaikka mä tätä osannut edes pelata, että tää oli jotenkin niin jännä, mystinen peli. And I talk about how I felt about even though I played only 2 months, I still had these sort of memories of this game. It kind of felt like I'm not into multiplayer games.
Yeah.
But still, when I logged in here, it was kind of scary. It's a whole new world there.
Yeah, exactly.
And I didn't even have a nerve to jump on. And then one time we went to, is the Jita still a place?
Yeah.
So we went to there and we have to go through like the zero space, or what do you call it?
Like low security.
So I was kind of scared, even though I had friends with me.
Yeah.
So that's the idea.
It is quite fun in that way.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. Someone made a comment about No Man's Sky. It is different than No Man's Sky, definitely.
Yeah. This is up. No Man's Sky could have been the new Eve. If they made it.
If the launch, if the launch or if the content and the launch game had been good enough.
People actually, I debated with a guy when I played Star Citizen, which is a new game which has been developing years, and I said that it will never come as popular or big as EVE Online. And he was like, time capsule clipped my sentence that it will, but I think it will never become as popular.
I think that the one thing with space games is that there was always a kind of learning curve with them, and you're kind of asking someone to assimilate or learn a whole different kind of sense of terminology, and there's often time involved in it. Space is meant to be, or the idea of space games as they manifest at the moment that aren't Star Wars kind of related, like Battlefront, is this kind of longevity associated with living and sustaining and kind of surviving. And so then the kind of appeal for games like Eve, Star Citizen, No Man's Sky is like, to me at least, I mean, I find that I love Eve the way I play it at the moment. Okay, this is pretty slow because there's no one to shoot. But when you log in and you can shoot some people, you can then just log back off and go about your day, and that's kind of rewarding.
Would still be more nervous playing on a Daisy character that has been alive for a long time.
Misclicked. Here. Where is it?
Morjesta, moi, hello. I don't understand the question. What is the question?
No, you don't need to spend money unless, you need to spend your time, which is worse.
Yeah.
So you have to spend a lot of time in Eve to kind of get to a point where you can fly most of the ships and actually kind of enjoy or jump in ships without having to kind of worry about the fitting requirements, worry about the modules. Yeah. That's kind of the level where my character is, where he can pretty much fly everything.
Are these the targets in this system?
No,
Or
these
what
are these are
what
these.
is
So
on the right hand corner.
in the overview, what you have is a series of kind of things that you can warp to, warpable objects in space. So you've got some stargates. There's a guy in a capsule, but I'm not going to shoot him. That would be a waste.
Yeah.
And some also these military sites.
What is Teimo?
Well, this is like what I meant about the Kadari. So they've got like Hiri, a system called like Hiri.
Teimo is a Finnish. Might be a Finnish name.
Okay. But even this system, Tama.
Yeah. yeah, Tama.
So they have this kind of strange Finnish.
So these are the warp commands.
Yeah. These are like the overview commands.
Do you how do you? These are the weapons you can choose or something like that.
Yep. So this is the kind of HUD of my ship. The middle, the yellow, is the capacitor. Then you've got the current speed, and then your shield is the outer ring. Middle ring is armor, and the lower ring is the structure or hull.
Yeah.
Then you've got your modules. So I've got here my guns, a neutralizer, micro warp drive, a warp disruptor to stop people from leaving, a webifier so I can get close, and a cat booster to keep my guns firing.
What was that? That's the energy.
Yeah, that will kind of neutralize someone's capacitor.
Okay, yeah.
Which is kind of a cool thing.
So actually, talk us a little bit about again with the same stuff.
Yeah.
But how does the ship has armor, shields,
and structure.
Web structure. Then it has energy, which you spend on your shields or your weapons.
On your tank. Unless you only if you have an active tanking ship. So in my case, I have a passive tank, which means I don't have to worry about them. The only thing I worry about is to keep my guns firing. Okay. That's like the main thing. But yes, in this race in Galante, every module here will consume some capacitor. Yeah. And that's why I have this booster. So this booster will then boost my.
I remember something like that, clicking those and they were blinking and.
Yeah, they go crazy. Yeah. So there's a Sano in this. Just looking at what's in this system.
So these are the targets and also the other players, maybe.
Not other players yet.
So, but they show the players here if they are here.
If they come up, yeah.
Yeah.
And here you've got these red ones are kind of like NPCs. So they're kind of like the rats, if you like.
Yeah. What does the word rat?
We're talking about this, like rotta.
But what does it mean? It's like they're everywhere. They're rats. So it's ratting.
Maybe.
Is it only in this game, that word?
Yeah, I've never. We were talking about it, like the origins of that word. Where does it come from?
Hello. What is your opinion about? If you want to read. Yeah, that's an actual question about Eve.
Yeah, that's a good one. So multi-boxing, if you multi-box in this game and you're kind of good at it, of course it can put you at a big advantage, particularly when it comes to scouting ahead and perhaps having two very kind of powerful characters. That can of course really help. So a common kind of, how would you say, meta? A common meta at the moment is that you'll have a group or one player that is kind of your DPS, and your other box will be someone who can basically block the player from shooting. So they kind of will fit a load of jammers, and if you can keep the target down, then of course you can't really stop them from doing anything to you, and that can kind of definitely dual boxing in that way.
Can you play two characters at once at the same battle?
Yeah.
Talking about that.
Yeah.
How do you play two ships at one time?
Got to be quick, my son.
So my Padawan. So you can choose
dual
between.
Box. Dual box. So you just have two windows.
So there are actual two instances of the game.
Yeah, running.
Not inside one game.
Not inside.
Okay.
So you have two windows up and going.
Well, okay. So is the question a little bit of criticism about that you can play whole fleet with your.
I mean, so there's been. I think that there's skill involved if you're able to dual box with two active characters, right? Yeah. There is definitely a skill involved in that. Okay. However, if what you also see now is this kind of farming. So it is possible to send commands to all of the windows that you have. Yeah. So you do get these like one-man fleets. What's this guy?
Do you know any? Read the last. Who is that? Or
that's Maya.
Okay. Okay.
Is there any big changes in Eve? So the
hello, Maya.
One guy asks, is there any big changes? The big changes. Well, of course, the Omega and Alpha clones, which is kind of maybe what you're talking about, has kind of definitely changed because now the alpha class has been kind of boosted, I think, to 20 million skill points. So as a result, you get players that really have an ability to play without having to pay or invest money in the game, just time, which is a kind of huge deal. Other big changes have been the introduction of kind of the citadels and keep stars, and then changing of the kind of capital classes. So they got completely changed.
And one question about the ship types. So what ship types does the game have?
Loads. If we dock
yeah.
up, we can have a look at the ship explorer. Let me find a station. Now we're in like a barren piece.
Over 10. Over 20.
How many ships?
How many kind of the small, the cruisers,
like the tiers. Let's check. I mean, probably we can check on the market as we go. So ship classes.
Oh yeah, there they are. So if people can't, if the small resolution is too big, there's battle cruisers, battleships, capital ships, corvettes, cruisers, destroyers, frigates, industrial ships, mining barges, shuttles, special edition ships.
Yeah.
So.
And there's some.
I think I flew with the battle cruiser. That's the biggest one I flew.
This is the battle cruiser. This dude.
Because you can't fly battleship if you don't have the skill points.
Yeah, right.
Skills.
You need like the books.
So you have to invest time on the skill points to fly a certain ship type. So can you fly every ship?
Me within one of the within Minmatar, which is the first race I trained.
Yeah.
I can fly everything except the Titan.
Okay. Yeah.
For Galante, I can fly everything except capitals. Caldari the same.
Yeah.
And then for Amar, I'm still training them at the moment.
How much time does it involve or take to fly a Titan? How many months of training?
So to get into the hull of the Titan is not is kind of can be trivial. But in order to actually fly it well, use all the modules, a really long time.
Okay.
Like more time than an average player would want to invest.
So probably people have different account only for the Titan.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's like a walk-in coffin. Yeah. The other thing about a lot of these Titans is that they can only dock at these player-owned stations called keep stars or citadels.
Do they disappear, or do they just float there?
They just they can float there. They when they dock, they just disappear.
Okay,
but if they're just on grid, they just sit there looking like a big mammoth of a ship.
But I remember something like that. You could never dock a Titan in the old days.
Yeah.
If you found one, you could shoot it.
Yeah. Now
if the
they
player
changed
wasn't
it.
online, you could just shoot the ship.
Now they had to change it because people got so kind of they get so salty.
So what kind of defenses is it possible to build to protect your fleet or investments or ships?
So basically, the citadels and keep stars were kind of different than the player-owned station towers, which we like a POS, which we had for the longest time. Now look at the sun. I mean, the graphics are still pretty awesome. Good. Like they're pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
But now the citadels and keep stars actually have kind of guns, so they can shoot back, which is kind of cool. And they'll also heal the fleet as long as you don't engage.
Yeah.
So there are some kind of ways to stay. Sorry, go ahead.
No, the warp bubbles. I remember the warp bubbles.
Yeah, they still exist.
They have these on top of or surrounding the station.
Yeah. So I'm just going to dock up so we can look at the ship. Yeah. It looks like a giant potato in space. Look. It's like a giant potato.
Maybe it is.
Potato.
Potato. So, people, what do you think about Eve? Or are we talking too fast? Is it too much to comprehend? Or is it interesting, boring? What do you think? But the game is pretty... I actually looked a little bit... is anyone else streaming?
Yeah.
Eve Online, there was 4 people streaming.
It's a pretty slow game.
10 viewers.
Yeah, it's pretty... It's because like as you see, so we've made maybe like 20 jumps, like just jumping around, and we've seen like 2 ships. And that's the kind of... So for a streaming game, it's not always fun.
Yeah.
If there's a big fleet fight, then it can be more fun. So when they're actually... Exactly. So this guy, Jergod.
Yeah.
So when actually something happens...
Yeah. I understand.
And it's interesting, but too time consuming, perhaps. And totally, like I totally kind of agree. Particularly for like the demographic of Twitch and stuff, it's a different kind of a game. It's but it can be fun as well.
Looks boring now. Yeah.
I want to see action. Yeah, me too.
So the ship browser, can we?
Yeah, let's find it. It's up. Where I gotta remember where it is. This is all reset. Ship hangar. Where are you? Fitting ship tree.
Ship tree. Whoa.
Can you zoom? Oh yeah, you can. So that's pretty. This is like.
So it begins with Corvette. That's the lowest class.
Yeah, the baby class is like here.
Can you fit a Corvette to be an actual fighter? Okay, yeah. This is James, my friend. He's a player of this game. This is kind of a showcase of the game. Nothing too serious, just chilling around, talking about the game. Good evening, good evening.
What first person shooters do you play?
I only play PUBG.
That's it.
That's it. Because I'm not, fond of, I think CSGO is too time consuming to really learn it.
Because if it was Battlefield 1 or Call of Duty...
I played Battlefield 1, the new Battlefield 1.
Yeah.
And then when PUBG came, I played H1Z1 a few hours only, and then PUBG came, and I jumped right into
that.
And I have like 500 hours of
wow.
online play.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, that people I'm playing with are a little bit younger than me, and they've been playing... People have 2,000 hours, 5,000 hours of CSGO.
Yeah, that's serious.
And I had a 15-year break of playing shooters against people. And the stuff I've learned to shoot, play, whatever, is only with the PUBG and only when streaming. So if I really want to be good at game, I need a lot of hours, and I don't have time for it.
So, like, to give you guys an idea as to how many ships are in the game. So, basically, you can see this is like the Amar class, and then you have the Caldari, which is like, the Finnish, more Finnish, very quiet people.
Show the right hand there.
Yeah, so these are the kind of, so this is the Titan.
These are capital, are these capital class also?
No,
these
they're just Black Ops.
Yeah.
So that's what, this is like the Titan.
Wow, that's the Titan.
Yeah. He's a pretty big guy.
He's a destroyer. No, a star destroyer from
Exactly.
Star Wars. Yeah. How many miles is this long? I remember some.
I don't know the scaling.
I think it was many. Miles.
Okay, 18 kilometers.
18. So okay, yeah. That's
the scaling is a bit crazy.
18 kilometers.
And for reference, the ship that I'm currently in is 391 meters. Yeah. So not even half a kilometer.
And is there citadels here also? No.
The citadels are not here. No.
Okay.
But these are the. I mean, this is kind of Galante. Then you've got Minmatar. There's just so many ships in the game. Yeah. It's kind of, and again, that does add fun to it as well. But it's in order to play at that level to where you can actually afford these ships. Look at this. This is a kind of faction Titan.
Funny mushroom.
Mushroom.
Yeah.
This is, look at the sick on it though, like the skin. That's pretty sick. Yeah.
Show all the titles. So this is the what race was this? Amar?
What is that? That reminds me of a Finnish word, but I'm not going to say
almost.
Unreal.
Molo.
Then you've got the Galante one. Looks like this. The Rebus.
Rebus.
Kind of looks like a.
What's that? A gun, maybe?
No? Yeah, it's kind of got a funny look.
It's like a rifle, a futuristic rifle.
I bet Minmatar have like.
I give my favorite. I think this is my favorite because this is sort of a human made.
Made out of, if it's like, because it's Minmatar, it's made out of kind of what's it, duct tape. That's the kind of
that's cool.
Joke in the game. Cool. Yeah, this one's cool. I think that the Amar has a very similar. So it's got a mushroom.
Yeah, that's a mushroom.
Caldari we looked at. Is there any more of the kind of faction? What's the faction? This one.
Komodo. That's like the dragon.
Yeah, so this is like a skinned Lethard. And that's kind of cool, like the Caldari one, right?
Yeah. So show us a smaller ship and a fast ship, which flies really fast. And I remember some. Was it?
Where's the battleships? Let's show the. I mean the. Yeah. So you've got the Navy battle cruisers. Yeah. This is a these are pretty sick. This is the Raven Navy issue.
1 kilometer long.
Yeah, and these are kind of like battleship class.
Yeah.
And it's a special edition because it's the Navy issue. So
is this the battleship class that the Rats have? I remember.
Yeah, they have very similar looking ones. Then they go one step further. You get to these Black Ops ships. So you've got the Golem, which is a Marauder, and that thing is like, I mean, this thing looks pretty sick. Looks like a Klingon.
Yeah,
like a Klingon ship.
Bird of prey. Yeah.
Exactly.
Is this pure PvP game, or is there any end game PvP PvE like raid. No raids. I think there are no raids in here. In World of Warcraft terms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raven Navy all the way. Yeah, they're pretty awesome ships actually. I had one of these. I sold it, but this was a Scorpion Navy issue, and it was
that I remember. Yeah.
Sick looking. Yeah. And it was Dead Space fit. So the modules, of course, you get the standard kind of modules, these Tech 1, Tech 2 variants. Yeah. Then you get the kind of really blingy stuff, which costs an awful lot more, but often have much better capabilities. Yeah. And that's kind of cool as well. So where are we in space? I mean, again, trying to stream EVE Online is a hard task, given that people just... I could just get blown up, of course.
No, you don't want to get blown up.
I don't mind if I lose this guy.
Why?
I mean, well,
why? It's worth.
It's nothing to me.
Okay.
No, it's just it's just a funny ship, you know. It was designed to. Hey, it's the potato station. Look at that. It's just a giant potato head.
With 2 balls.
I mean, even these station names, like Nagam. I mean, that looks like a Finnish surname to me.
Yeah. Well, a little bit the den.
Exactly.
Yeah. So about CCP, lots of much stuff to remember. Yeah.
That is true. Stream Sniper's Paradise. That's true. I don't even think we don't even have a delay.
We don't have a delay.
Yeah, you see.
CCP has.
That's the real men playing EVE.
Yeah. CCP Games, Icelandic video game developer. How much?
They do quite well.
600 employees.
Yeah, man.
600 ihmistä töissä tämän pelin takana. Wow.
How would you describe the game for a noob like me? So if I was starting out again, or when I started out, the best thing to do is to very quickly try to join a corporation. Because if you're playing EVE with friends or with people that are kind of at a higher point in the game than you, one, they'll be able to take you along with them and get you into like exciting situations. And 2, you'll be able to kind of learn from them, particularly when you want to play kind of or understand the game at a greater level, for sure. Doing what I'm doing, which is just flying out in space with kind of no regrets, is perhaps not the best idea.
Do you want to hear some revenue statistics of CCP games?
Sure.
86 million pre-tax was revenue. No, 86 million new record. Eli 86 miljoonaa euroa vuodessa, dollaria vuodessa. And post-tax earnings up to new record of 21 million. So $21 million per year.
Serious business.
Yeah. Money. For how many years? So So PUBG has I don't know, have you watched the community, but even though players are, you know, we like the game, we played, there's over 2 million players.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. And it's very buggy. And the development's very slow, and every new patch brings up new problems.
Yeah.
So has there been any criticism against this game, or whenever there's a new patch, is it always like 100 quality assured?
No way. They still make, you know.
What sort of big problems?
I'm sure they still have like an agile method of, you know. So they as a result, you know, there could always be more QA testing. At the moment, they've actually broken it a little bit, where they managed to. So when you log into EVE, it has like an EVE launcher. And that's a bit buggy at the moment.
Okay.
Kind of random stuff like that. But hey, the biggest thing is kind of funny, and it's still in the game. I can show you guys this, if I find my asset list, was that basically an EVE patch released very long time ago, essentially deleted on the C drive the player's boot INI file.
Okay.
Which was kind of, you know, so EVE...
How is that even possible?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So EVE kind of was able to, you know...
manipulate your files on
well, it deleted the boot INI file, so a lot of machines were unable to post, like Windows machines were unable to post.
Was it during Windows XP, something like that?
Windows 7, I think.
Really?
Yeah,
Windows 7?
Yeah, of course.
How is that even possible?
So
to gain access to files?
Yeah, well, it was just, I think that because commonly EVE extracts at the root of the C drive. So it's probably that they left a kind of slash in when doing a cleanup operation. And so now in the game, you can see it on the screen now, there's boots.ini. They actually seeded a way to say sorry to everyone, so it's this like redeemable... I never redeemed it, I've just kind of left it there.
Okay.
Because I'm There's so much stuff in here, but no
one
one
else. What do you think
else.
600 people are really doing in the company? Why do they need so much people?
Well, because CCP now doesn't just focus on Eve. They've got these kind of spin-off games that have all sort of they've all kind of failed.
Okay.
They had this. I think it was Eve Valkyrie, which was kind of like there was Dust. There was Dust 514, I think it was called, which was trying to be like a first-person shooter, basically trying to take the universe of Eve, like this whole spaceship dynamic. Yeah. I'll warp to the station at 0, so try to kind of make it so that these planets would have some kind of resemblance in a console version of the game, based on a first-person shooter. But it really didn't kind of do well.
How many people do you think are actually developing?
Do you see this as well? Look, so they've got like a first-person HUD as well.
Oh, okay.
Where you can actually.
So can you actually fly the spaceship like using your keyboard? Really?
Should we try?
Or is this only point and click? And
I think it's like mostly point and click, even in this view.
Is there any difference where your ship is located, or are you just targeting and shooting?
Yep. So I mean, of course, a lot of it is target. Oh wow, look. So it is click but that's kind of like a different way of. I'm like turning my head as I'm moving. It's kind of like being in a car. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so there is different
downloading this game right now. Want to try it? Wow.
Who is this, James?
This is one of my friends who is a long-time player of this game, and I just wanted to. This is actually something I'm really interested in hearing and looking. This is so complicated that I don't want to get into this game. Maybe sometime we can play and you can kind of show the noob around, but I don't have time to kind of get into this game.
You don't want to invest too much.
No.
So let's go. Let's get the map back, which is just floating in space, but that's okay. There's an Imicus. He's not going to do anything to us.
So which streamers? Actually, Lyric is online. So do you watch any streamers?
I do. I watch these kind of the guys that you've got now. So Lyric and Summit.
Yeah.
Of course, Lyric's kind of bros, shorty guy, and Waffle. They're kind of quite funny to watch. Waffle, not so much. Kind of plays a lot of Minecraft, and I'm not such a fan of.
Yeah.
Then there is a couple of good Eve streamers. One guy called Bjornby. He's pretty out there. I think he's actually Icelandic himself. He's a pretty cool guy. Got a crazy laugh. So when you kind of watch his stream, it's sometimes you just kind of it's just funny to watch someone who laughs like.
Have you ever streamed yourself?
No, I haven't. I've just been kind of watching. I find the whole idea of kind of streaming pretty crazy. Like, it's pretty fun. It's a good way for content to be created, and it's live, right? Yeah. So it has there's an instant kind of community aspect of it. But I haven't done it before.
Yeah, we're just with James. I'm only playing Eve. Or James can, of course, you can try PUBG. Have you ever played?
I haven't. I've only ever watched it. I'd probably suck though. Like the whole, I'd get a bit stressed, Let's see if there's anyone in space. So guys, when I'm jumping through these systems, which are all in, you can't see where we are, but we're flying around low security systems, trying to find a fight. And the reason that I keep kind of clicking this scan button is to try to find a target. And there is none. It is so quiet. I mean, this is kind of the...
Is it too quiet? Normally you should have found something.
Well, it's really hit and miss in Eve. That's the kind of problem.
This is one of those games you can't really play casually. Actually, you can if you are at this point of the learning.
So once you've invested the time, that is true. I mean, you do need a lot of dedication and definitely time in order to get to where I am. Now I've kind of gone full circle. So I've gone full circle, was really into the game for a long time, and now I can just kind of pick it up and play it.
Have you ever tried a game called Quantum Break?
I haven't. What is it?
Don't try it.
Is it awful?
It's a Finnish-made Remedy game, Remedy Studios or Remedy Entertainment.
Is it good or bad?
Well, I played it in this stream, and I never cursed so much.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. James, where are you from?
So I'm from England. Originally, I've lived in Finland for 7 years now. I know Yuka through my wife. So she took me to Mayor's gym. a long time ago, and
Mayors,
there was this there was this small guy squatting, and I was like, look at no, I'm kidding. There was this hobbit in the corner. I was like, oh hey, what's up?
Fuck you. How tall are you?
I don't know, under 2 meters. I'm like 195, 196, something like that.
That's short.
That's short. Yeah.
Yeah. So how is married life?
Married life is good. I'm a lucky man.
Yeah. Now choose your words carefully.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
There is someone watching.
You could imagine. How long have you been living in Finland?
7 years. Yeah.
7 years.
And James is from. Can you say information technology?
Yeah, like the computer field.
Can you program?
Only.
Or have you programmed anything?
Not kind of on like a. So I mean, company I work for at the moment, our kind of focus is infrastructure as code, right? So kind of we have to be able to kind of create, but it's based on like JSON and YAML are the kind of coding languages, if you can call them that.
Yeah.
And of course they will then instigate other kind of secondary languages, but I don't work on the application level. So I don't actually work on the kind of, setting up Python or Java or whatever the kind of cool kids are doing these days. Whatever those crazy cats at all of the leading Finnish or Helsinki based.
Have you ever wondered, would have you been a good programmer if you've chosen that career?
Yeah, but I'm excellent at what I do, so no, I know what you mean. No, of course. There's always a wonder. I did play with Python for a while, trying to make kind of silly things, but to actually turn that interest into a kind of lucrative thing is not kind of trivial.
Yeah. So what else? What games do you play other than Eve?
So I'm big into my PlayStation.
Yeah. Which I just bought from.
Yeah, you bought my old one. I just picked up a PlayStation 4 Pro.
Yeah.
Which I'm a huge fan of. So I just picked up the Call of Duty World War II, which is quite a fun.
Yeah.
I think it's fun. It's like pick up and play, right? Battlefield 1, of course. I'm pretty good at that. Rocket League as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of stupidly
with
fun.
the console though.
Yeah, with the console.
Okay.
Yeah. And FIFA, of course.
Actually, someone said. Yeah. So, have you ever played like with the computer CS:GO or something like that?
Yeah. So I was actually really into Battlefield 2, for example.
Yeah, me too.
Massively into Battlefield 2. And I played that at a like kind of almost professional level, playing with one of the leading UK. So it's kind of crazy that people like Dignitas or whatever.
Ooh.
Was that yours or mine?
Yes, mine.
He just broke his iPhone.
No,
I'm kidding.
It can take anything.
So, what were we talking about?
Totally
lost my...
Right,
so Battlefield 2. So I played that at a kind of almost like semi-professional level, with against guys like Team Dignitas who were like huge kind of back in the day, and I guess they still have a kind of pretty strong esport following now.
Yeah.
And playing at like multiplayer LANs and all this kind of stuff. That was kind of fun, really geeky stuff. Battlefield 2 was awesome. I was really good at solo flying the attack chopper. So you'd be able to kind of drive it and use the gunner at the same time by using kind of like switching seats really quickly. And I was really into that, really into that game. Then Eve came along and kind of my life kind of ended. in that regard.
New Eve life began.
Yeah, exactly. But also the Grand Theft Auto. So I played Grand Theft Auto 4, for example. I've actually still got a save on my old PlayStation 3 where I completed the game from start to finish without dying on the main character, Nico Bellic, once.
Wow.
This kind of stuff. And I'm thinking of doing the same for Grand Theft Auto 5. Trying to do it. With Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PlayStation 4, I did it so that each of the players through the stock market kind of became filthy rich. And then I was thinking, actually, it would be quite fun to try to do the same thing where they, just don't die. That's hard, though. I mean, this is like, serious planning involved. A serious thought goes into the game. It's particularly Grand Theft Auto about dying once. What made you move to Finland, and do you like it here? I love living in Finland. Finland's a fantastic place to live. If obviously I'm considered an expat, even though I've lived here for so long. But it is a great place to live, I guess, as long as you want to work for it. So if you come to Finland on the idea that it's going to be like a jolly, it's not. Like, you have to be really kind of good at what you do, particularly in an employment perspective, and you've got to have passion about wanting to live here, right? Because if you don't put yourself out there, if you don't meet lots of people, then it's going to be, it is a struggle. It's not, it's like any country, but it's with the winter here, it can be quite dark. And Finnish people, generally as the culture doesn't necessarily lend itself to you trying to kind of just be kind of as an expat, I mean, just trying to kind of not differentiate. Like they need to see that you're kind of clearly kind of passionate and good and you want to progress. If you apply these things to living here, it's really fun and it's easy to get by, particularly from an employment perspective. Of course, I had a job when I moved here. So when I moved here, I kind of got straight into employment, and that's continued ever since.
Yeah.
I cannot believe what it is like for an expat to live in Finland unemployed. I mean, that is not something that I would ever think about.
Yeah.
That's not fun. That's not fun.
I actually don't know what did you do back home?
So before I moved to Finland, I was kind of like a network security engineer.
Okay.
And I had a team. I was like the incident manager. So I had a team of about 20 reports.
Yeah.
There is nothing in space, guys. I mean, this is Eve. It's like...
Are we actually online?
I know, right?
Can you just post like a submarine ping? I'm here, come get me.
I wish I could.
Yeah.
What I could do is go sit at one of these infrastructure hubs and just wait, but that may be kind of an even worse idea than jumping around trying to find the targets. So here there's...
So why are people actually moving about? What's the reason?
Or not?
Or not?
Yeah, that is a good point.
Is there any reason to move?
I mean, so in Eve there is an element of kind of ship spinning where people will dock in the station and they just sit watching their ship. I don't know. I don't know. People have time, I guess.
Well, they're like trophies. You want to watch them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they're going to sit there spinning it around. And
actually, reminds me of my days, spinning around the station.
Exactly, just talking and socializing.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it.
Yeah, but the PvP is fun. I think if we can catch anyone moving about.
So there's these two guys, but where are they?
So you found someone.
Well, I'm just wondering where they are.
So how does the scanning work? Directional scanner. So do you have to face a target to scan it?
Exactly. That's what I'm doing. So I think that
so you're looking at that target there.
Yeah. So the frigate is in this novice outpost, but my ship is far too big to fit through that Stargate. So okay, what's here? Small compound. Let's warp to within 10. We might just die here, guys.
Why?
Could be. Well, because if all of his friends are just like hidden, they're just gonna blow me up straight away.
Maybe they're stream sniping. I'm finding they're a couple of jumps away.
Let's see if there's anything here.
When has the last big fight been? The last big fleet flight?
I mean, I was in a fleet fight. I logged in randomly last week on a Wednesday, and I went straight into a fleet fight. We won. We won by ISK. I mean, we lost a lot of ships.
Okay.
But it was fun. Again, so the big fleet fights in Eve, if you can get involved in those things, yeah, I'm too big. Are kind of fun because if you get a good FC, if you get a guy that actually understands how Eve works and is kind of really dialed into the game, he'll be able to call targets for you. So if you imagine right now that we had a sea of targets on this menu on our overview, you really wouldn't know what to shoot, right? You'd be, if you're inexperienced. Yeah. So if you've got an FC, someone like the field commander who's like, okay, primary target is Yuka, secondary target is Mika, and off they go. Then of course you're able to kind of focus fire, so everyone's shooting the same target.
Okay.
So you can then quickly try to eliminate people off the field.
Yeah.
People's like, why are you talking? Why are you here?
He's like, who are you? Why
are you here speaking English?
Yeah. I don't know who this guy is. What the fuck? Tell me something about streamers and their the viewers which are so sensitive.
Do you get sensitive or not?
I'm really sensitive.
Really?
Goddamn. Nah, sometimes.
But can't you do you have mods? Do you have like your own moderators as well?
I don't know where the mods are. God damn it. Ban this guy. No.
But do the moderators they kind of just police the chat for you, right? Is that their dynamic?
There's not a lot of policing. Who are you?
For real, who are you? Don't ban me! No, we're only kidding. We're only kidding. I've never been involved on a Twitch stream before, so it's more Yuka kind of sharing with me aspects of streaming live. For a Finnish Twitch streamer, it's kind of...
Lexa, there's a moderator.
Lexa,
I will do it.
I will do it!
Ban him.
Greek. Ban him from the chat now! That's pretty good. I mean, you like that, right?
Let me check how many viewers we have. How do you like the
This is good. This is nice. I've got a SteelSeries mouse, but this one's nice and it's wireless as well, right? Does it have a dongle or is it like Bluetooth?
Here it is.
Oh, okay,
I can
cool.
Recharge it.
Just on the. Oh, clever.
But I just bought a little bit smaller version of this.
Yeah.
So I want to try another mouse. So we have like 100 viewers here. So it's pretty much
watching Eve.
Yeah.
Watching us not find targets, which was not
I know.
not the desired.
Let me find out if anyone else is streaming this game. So
I think there could
can
be.
Find it. So we can see if we're on top. We have no. How do I? There it is. Yeah. So there's actually someone else streaming.
Yeah, Bjorn.
400 viewers.
Yeah, Bjorn is the guy I mentioned.
240 viewers, 200 viewers.
So there are some people actually doing some stuff. That's crazy.
And then the smaller ones.
Yeah.
The biggest one is 400 viewers.
That's Bjorn. He's got a kind of fleet going on at the moment where he will he takes like a load of people, you know, irrespective of how experienced they are.
Yeah.
And will go out and kind of just try to find targets.
Wow. There's a lot of happening there. He's also hidden the jump gates maybe.
Star Tattoos 2013. No, like way before. That would have been when I was like 18, which feels like a long time ago.
Trend's pretty over, right?
What does that say?
How much the bicep are? The
Not much.
50 centimeters maybe.
Probably 70.
Are you some kind of a pro or something?
It depends at what. Who is this?
Yeah, this is my friend James. We're playing this game, Eve.
I've kind of taken over Yuka's Yuka's stream for a while.
Streamer, yeah. So we are looking for fights here. We talked pretty much almost 2 hours. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah. About the game.
Wow.
The dynamics, the history, and at the same time we're trying to find someone to shoot.
James, tell your opinion about Yadi Bullman. Come on. Is he your friend? Yeah, I bet he is.
Nah, I don't know.
No?
No. Just, we know each other.
Like, lifting bros.
Yeah. Something like that.
I don't know Yadi Bull Mental. I've only seen him on the... I think I've seen him in a gym once, maybe. Yeah. And on the TV.
He's from England. Star Control Origins to open beta. Must try it myself. You remember Star Control?
No.
It's a very old game.
Are they releasing a kind of new version of it?
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't heard it.
So this is like the slowest. We can maybe switch this up and you can show me some, like, the games you play, because I'm super interested in watching someone live. Really? Watching a live stream, play a game.
We can play. Maybe PUBG.
He's the most best bodybuilder ever. He could be Mr. Olympia.
Santu has he's a he has a fixation of Jarmo Mentola.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's not even a joke. He really is. He really has a fixation of.
He likes him.
Yeah. I think it's the highest form of admiration.
Yeah.
Of stalking someone. How old are you?
31.
31.
How old are you?
35.
35.
In January.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. What happened? Where did the years go on EVE Online?
Exactly.
So do you have friends that still play this game, that has played from the beginning to this day?
Yeah, I got a...
You know
so,
this.
yeah, I mean, they haven't played the whole time, because that would be a massive investment. But there are some guys that I used to play with that had now kind of subscribed to the game for the same time that I've been playing. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I've met these guys in real life, like back in the day. So there's like a social element. Well, I actually met one of them in Finland. Like he was on a trip here.
Okay.
With his girlfriend, and we kind of met, and that was kind of cool because it adds a different sort of. It's kind of cool sometimes to meet the people that you're playing with rather than just over. Where there he is. So I'm going to dock up and wrap this up because we're not going to find targets.
We're not finding him now.
What do you work like in life? What? I work at a Finnish IT company as a cloud architect, so with computer systems.
Yeah, too bad. Yeah, but you said that this might happen, that we can't find anyone.
I did warn you that it can be quite hard.
Yeah.
Puhun suomea tosi vähän oikeasti.
That's pretty good.
Not from work. We know each other from the
the gym.
From the gym. I was reading the next comment. Exactly. That.
Do you know every word?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Manmi. Have you ever tasted manmi?
Yeah, of course. I quite like it. It tastes like malt loaf. You know, if you've ever in England, I guess in America they have this thing called saurine, and it's like a malt loaf that you add butter onto it.
Yeah.
And mammy is like obviously made from like malt, right? So it tastes really similar.
Yeah.
Where from England? I was from the southeast of England, so a place called Kent. I'm kind of sad we couldn't blow anyone up, or even get blown up. I mean, this poor ship just needs to kind of be blown up. Maybe next time.
It needs to taste blood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll let you take the control.
Do you want to perhaps try the PUBG?
Me try it?
Yeah, of course.
I'll probably.
Can you log off?
Of course.
You know the drill. Yes.
So now can the stream see like this window?
Yeah, I can change the scene